Hello, Wes Lee here for this week's Mesonet weather report. Summers are always brutal in Oklahoma, but this year's weather seems to be overly oppressive. Once the rain stopped about a month ago, we have been experiencing a classic flash drought situation. Rainfall has been very limited and spotty in nature lately. Most of the state has experienced about a month without a quarter inch of rain. This makes the last 30 days the driest period of time since 1980. Without rain, the plants have been using up the stored soil moisture. Evapotranspiration is the loss of moisture from plant and soil surfaces. On Tuesday, this short crop evapotranspiration map shows it would take a quarter to a third of an inch of water a day to maintain maximum production. Of course, with dry soils, plant production has been curtailed and actual numbers would be lower. This 10-inch fractional water map from the same day shows 0.1 or 0.2 at most locations. With this product, 1 is as wet and 0 is as dry as the sensor can read at that depth. Just 30 days earlier, you can see the map was much different with most of the state green and in great shape. Unfortunately, this dry pattern appears to be locked in for a while with no immediate relief in the forecast maps. Now here's Gary with the latest drought information.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, to quote Howard Cosell from a boxing match back in the day, once again we find ourselves in a terrible situation. Let's get straight to that new drought monitor map, and I'll show you why I'm saying that. Well, pretty easy to see why. We now have the entire state filled with color. The eastern third of the state now almost completely in moderate drought, whereas they've been out of drought for quite a while. The rest of the state, at least in those abnormally dry conditions, that yellow drought is on the rise once again across Oklahoma, a classic flash drought situation. It's pretty shocking, too, when you consider the amount of rainfall we had previous to this last 30-day period. Take a look. From that May 1st through June 10th period, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches, up as much as 15 inches across western Oklahoma, and even up to 20 inches across parts of eastern Oklahoma. So a ton of rainfall, drought on the run, and then you go to the last 30-day period, or even a little bit more than that, and you see the drastic difference in the rainfall totals. In fact, much of the state struggles to get even as much as a quarter inch over that time frame. So from feast to famine really quickly, classic flash drought once again. Let's look at that last 30-day period, June 13th through July 12th, and this could extend a little bit forward, a little bit previous to that, but that period is the driest such period on record dating back to at least 1921, so at least 100 years. You can see the percent of normal values, lots of zeros, lots of single digits on there. Really, the far western panhandle came out the best, above 100% of normal, so they did at least some good above normal rainfall amounts helping their drought situation, but the rest of the state plunging back into drought. And since we are in the warm season when those rainfall amounts are higher, the deficits are much higher over that 30-day period. A little bit longer than 30 days, but still you can see those deficits from 2 to 3 to 4 inches, close to 5 inches across parts of eastern Oklahoma. So much of the state needing a good drink of rainfall. So we do need some good rains. Unfortunately, we're heading right into the bulk of summer, and as Wes showed you, lots of heat. Lots of bad soil moisture now, so I'm afraid we're in for a while. Watch for drought to continue to strengthen, but we will definitely keep an eye on it for you. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.